Donald Trump is once again floating the idea of deporting actual U.S. citizens. Except this time, it's not by denaturalizing people who came over here, became citizens, and, then taking away their citizenship. No. These people that Donald Trump is now talking about deporting are actual, normal, regular, born and raised in the United States, been here, family for generations, whatever, white people, ethnicity doesn't matter. He has now extended his deportation threats to literally anyone in this country. But he is a little more specific than that, right? He's not just saying I can deport anyone I want. He suggested in a speech this week that maybe we just start deporting our criminals, right? The people being held behind bars. Here is what he had to say. Take a look.
They even break into apartments and rape elderly women and beat up elderly men, beat them to hell. And I don't want these violent repeat offenders in our country any more than I want illegal aliens from other countries who misbehave. And I say, and this is subject to getting it approved, but if they've been arrested many, many times, they're repeat offenders by many numbers, I want them out of our country. I also will be seeking permission to do so. We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country along with others. Let them be brought to a foreign land and maintained by others for a very small fee as opposed to be maintained in our jails for massive amounts of money, including the private prison companies that charge us a fortune. Let them be brought out of our country and let them live there for a while. Let's see how they like it. You'll see crime all over the country.
It's worth mentioning, after hearing Donald Trump say all that this would probably constitute cruel and unusual punishment, which of course is banned by the United States Constitution. We can't just ship our prisoners off and start our own penal colony somewhere. That's not gonna happen. That is also a horrifying thought, especially considering the fact that it's coming from a man that basically meets the criteria of the people he's talking about, right? We need to ship our felons overseas. Cool. You first, bud. You're a convicted felon. And if you hadn't won re-election to be president of the United States again, you would be one of these repeat offenders that you're talking about. You would be one of these people with multiple different criminal convictions against you in different areas of the country. You would fall under that criteria. The only thing that saved you was winning the presidency. Let's never forget that, by the way, folks. I think it kind of gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, but the president of the United States is a convicted felon. And I know there's plenty of people who do know that. We all know it. But day to day, we tend to forget that. And I don't want us to forget that. Anytime we hear this man talk about crime, talk about criminals, talk about anything related to the law, please, first and foremost, the thought needs to pop into your head. I'm hearing this from a convicted felon that should be in prison right now. But anyway, back to his idea, right? He's not wrong about the private prison industry ripping off the government, by the way. That's been proven time and time again. That is an absolutely horrific industry. They treat prisoners far worse than the, state or government-run facilities. They have higher escape rates. They have more brutal guards. It's horrible. There shouldn't be a private prison industry in the United States. But do you think our allies, let's assume for a second Donald Trump goes through with this plan. Do you think our allies are going to take them in? Right? Do you think Great Britain is over there like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll bring them in. You just pay us a small fee. They're not going to do it. France isn't going to do it. Nope. The only places I can imagine that would actually do this as a favor to Donald Trump, 3 countries spring to mind. Russia, North Korea, and Saudi Arabia. And I don't know if you've ever paid attention to international news, literally ever, but if you're going to be locked up in a prison anywhere in the world, the 3 worst places for that to happen would be Russia, North Korea, and Saudi Arabia. But I can guarantee you those would be the only 3 countries, with their brutal dictators that each country has, that would be willing to do this. Again, Germany is not going to open their doors and say, yeah, we'll take your criminals. Denmark's not going to do it. Greenland, obviously, not an option. Trump's already pissed off all of South and Central America, so that's not going to happen. No, it's going to be places where these prisoners would basically be forgotten about for eternity and left to die. That's the plan. That's what would happen. And here we have, in his second week in office, Donald Trump actually threatening to send American citizens out of the country because he simply doesn't like them. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.